Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a couple of days. I know I said I was gonna play Caesar 3 the other day, but that that kind of fell through. It is what it is. I'm here to do some late night Dyson Sphereing, as seems to be my birthright lately. These late night streams have been kind of nice, kind of enjoyable, kind of fun. Most importantly, kind of chill. And I think that's really what I'm looking for right now. This time of year, it's nice to just kind of chill out. You know, play some chill games and do some neat things. There's a lot of things that I still want to do before the end of the year. I need to finish Caesar 3, obviously. I need to finish Dynasty Warriors. I need to finish Majesty 2. I don't quite know when that's going to happen. Dynasty Warriors, I think I was almost done with. Caesar 3, I'm almost done with. I still have a lot to go in Majesty 2. And it's gonna take quite the effort to finish that game before the end of the year, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, especially if I keep getting distracted by Dyson Sphere Program. Which is what we're playing today. Wait, where's my... There it is. Okay. I was concerned there for a second. But today we have a very important task. The dark fog is starting to become a bit of a nuisance. It's starting to become a thorn in my side. And I want to resolve at least some of that. Specifically, I want to resolve the dark fog on my starting world, which is looking quite powerful. Quite powerful indeed. I would also like to take the fight to the dark fog on basically the rest of the planets in the solar system. I don't quite know exactly what that's going to entail. I mean, there's a few hundred ships in this little hive here, which I'm not even sure if I'm even close to being able to deal with that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So, something that we were working towards, and we still are. In fact, I should probably set this up before I do anything else, are these fiber optics. We need to set up fiber optics so we can start producing purple cubes. And in the meantime, we're gonna stop researching strange matter for the moment. We're gonna start working on some of these combat upgrades. What combat upgrades do we need? We probably need corvettes. How do we get corvettes? We need to research implosion cannons. We need to go through this line here. Grab planetary defense, and then we can get corvettes. And that is also going to require purple research. So it's an important thing to set this up. Why isn't this... Stop it. There we go. There, we got it working. Perfect. It's like nothing bad happened. So first things first, we gotta get these fiber optics set up. So for these fiber optics, we need carbon nanotubes. We need plastic, which we don't have a lot of plastic. And we need crystal silicon. So we should be getting crystal silicon from our outpost on the first planet in the system. And we are. It's a little bit slow, but that's okay. Carbon nanotubes, we can probably ship to here. I think we have them over here. Yes. We have 10,000 carbon nanotubes here. We should also get some logistics drones for in here. So let's go ahead and start building some of those. Just a handful, not a lot. And then the final piece of this puzzle is the plastic. Plastic is going to be a little bit harder. I want to say that our plastic is here. It is. We do have a little bit of plastic in there. And we may be able to use some logistic bots to get it over to this location. That may be the easiest way to do it. We do want our purple cubes, our grape cubes, to be produced somewhere near our matrix labs here. And this seems like as good of a place as any to do it. So let's go ahead and get to work. Let's just... I don't want to waste a planetary logistics, or a interstellar logistics slot for this. So we're just going to have you get carbon nanotubes. No, you're going to get carbon nanotubes. Thank you. Okay. Do you have... You may need more logistics drones. And we're also going to grab one of these guys. Where are we going to put it? I guess we could put it right there for now. We'll grab a couple of these logistic depots. And we'll need a bunch of logistic bots for that. Yes. Can I see which planet this damage is on? Like, I can see the arrows. I guess I just have to look, right?
Research.
Is Valison 1? Okay. That's okay. Alright. Let's grab planetary defense systems. There we go. A lot of this is very important, very relevant stuff that will probably need to be looked at later. But that's okay.
Dark fog cluster is launching an assault.
The dark fog here is launching an assault. That's okay. Let's go up here and just make sure that they don't run roughshod through our territory, right? Looks like they're coming from this angle this time, which is fine. There's a lot of flyers here. But overall, nothing disastrous, I don't think. We should be able to handle this pretty handily. Yeah. Nice. Excellent, excellent.
Replication complete.
Go ahead and collect some stray copper and magnets that's floating around.
Flight mode.
Okay. Now, I want you to go get plastic. Right there. There we go. And we're also going to just kind of build... I guess we're just going to plop it there, because why not, right? I mean, it's a little bit out in the open, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big problem. Okay. So we need the crystal. Oh, that's a little obnoxious. That's okay. That works. This doesn't have to be super complicated. It just has to get me some purple tech. It has to give me some of those delicious purple cubes so that I can actually start researching the next tier of building. That's the primary goal right now. One of these days, I'm also going to have to actually set up a sorter production line. It's on the to-do list, along with literally everything else in the universe. Here, we'll bring this out like this, and then we'll bring this down, just like that. So I think the only thing that needs to be proliferated here at the moment is the crystal silicon. Everything else, the other two lines are already proliferated somewhere else in their production line. And then we just have to also proliferate the purple cubes.
Replication complete.
Oh, no, it doesn't actually look like these are proliferated either. Okay. Fair enough. We can just kind of set those right next to each other. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. And is this actually the end point for this prolifer... Oh, no. Let's adjust this slightly. Let's go ahead and bring this out like this. There's probably a better way to do this. You could probably, like, I don't know, lift the proliferators somehow, but... for now, we're just going to do that. We're going to bring it up a level, and then we're going to bring it back down. And then we're going to proliferate this. There we go. Now, it is important to keep in mind that somewhere in this area, we're going to be building our next tier of proliferator, probably off in this direction. So we will have to monkey around with that at some point. Okay, and then we actually need purple tech. We need the purple cubes for Corvettes. Okay, well, we're gonna be starting that here very soon. And by very soon, I mean now. Wait. No, I'm dumb. I'm trying to produce the fiber optics, not the purple cubes. The purple cubes come next. It's fine. This is fine. I just have had in my mind, like, the end goal. I completely forgot. I completely forgot that we were working towards that goal, not, like, actually completing that goal right now. This is fine. We're okay. We got fiber optics. Yeah. There we go. Crisis averted. Problem solved. Nothing bad happened. Don't worry about it. Nothing bad happened. Okay. So now we can actually produce purple cubes. And we're going to be doing that, like, right in here, too. We're going to send all of these to a storage container. That's off in this direction. And also gets proliferated. I know it seems like my brain might be exploding, and maybe it is. It is pretty late at night. But don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing, I think. There we go. Okay, and now we bring over the processors. Yes, the processors. Like that. This is actually a disgusting mess of sorters, or of conveyors. What is this? Whatever, it's fine. It works. It's functional. I'm getting the cubes that I need. That's all I care about. All I care about is the cubes. We can work on efficiency. We can work on efficiency later. Okay. All right. So, now we have fiber optics. There we are. And they're being proliferated and sent straight in. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. I just built it a little bit too close. We just gotta build it back like one. You build it back like one, and the problem is solved. Look at that. Excellent. It's like nothing bad ever happened. Okay. Now we produce purple cubes. Look at that. Glorious. Glorious purple cubes. They are delicious. Delicious grape-flavored purple cubes. And we have to proliferate that. We are going to solve our proliferator crisis eventually. Someday, maybe. Okay. I'll go ahead and get a storage container for my purple cubes. There we go. Okay, now we have to get these purple cubes into this mess. If we move this a little bit. Maybe, if the game will let me. Okay, maybe this is fine.
Replication complete.
No, I don't want you to connect into there. Okay. So I can sneak one like there. And then maybe I build a splitter. And then I bring the other one around to this side. This is really stupid. Holding shift lets you build belts above. We'll monkey with that then. I appreciate the tip. Here, let's see. Ah, there we go. There, that gives me a little tiny bit more space. Look, I didn't plan this. This was not planned. Let's see. We could put the splitter all the way back here, I guess. But this was not made with, like, four resources in mind. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I think I know how I'm going to make this work. We're going to bring the purple cubes out. We're going to bring them all the way over here. We're going to bring them around this way. We're going to bring them over. We're going to... Okay. We're going to bring them over. Like that. We're going to bring them this way. You know, technically I don't need all of these sorters pulling in blue cubes. This is really dumb. Who designed this? What kind of idiot designed this thing? They need to get fired. All right, let's go. Let's go over here. We'll go ahead and we'll start working on this. There we go. Purple cubes. They're on their way. Hooray. It's a miracle. Now, will they reach up the whole way? They will. Okay. All right. Crisis averted. The nightmare has concluded. By the way, there's still another tier of cube we have to get into this. Where is it? The gravity matrix? Oh, man. Whatever. It works. We're good. It's all good. The good ending. We need to solve our proliferator problem. We need to solve our proliferator problem, and we need to cause more proliferator problems. Okay. So we need to probably basically double our production of proliferator. Because we are not producing... The game's lying to me. We are not producing enough proliferator. So the easiest thing to do that with is we literally have a bunch of coal over here. We can use that to increase our production. Actually, it looks like our bottleneck isn't the basic proliferator. It's the tier 2 proliferator right now.
Insufficient materials.
So we could just produce more of the tier 2 proliferator. We even have the extra... Someone had the presence of mind to actually create enough space to produce a little bit more. Why isn't this being proliferated? Probably for the same reason nothing else is being proliferated. Where's this coming from? It's coming from over here.
Replication complete.
Okay. So there should be a place over here where the diamonds are. Like, here's the big question. Did I just not proliferate it, or are we not producing enough proliferator? That is the real question. So here's our diamond production. And It looks like... It looks like it's just not being proliferated. Okay. I mean, we can solve that problem, too. Sorters limit the production right now a little. Yeah, I'm sure they do. There's a lot of things that are limiting production. How do you keep missing these? Rip Ruben, we just started. How's it going today? There we go. Okay.
Flight mode. Replication complete.
So do we have the right sort? I don't think we have level 3 sorters here, do we? No, we don't. That is something that we're going to have to do at some point, is just go around upgrading all of our sorters. I haven't been doing that. There we go. That should help a little bit, but we'll need even more. It says 27 minutes has gone by. I mean, 27 minutes out of a 4-hour stream. You know, it's not much. It's not much. We're good. We got this. Are we really just gonna do it like this? This is a stupid way to do this. That's okay. Stupid is what I do best. There we go. So that will improve how much we are pumping out. This looks really cool. Like, I know this is also really dumb, but this also looks really cool. This, like, elevator for the proliferator. That way I can make sure that it, like, proliferates itself before it goes on through the line. Okay, so how does this affect this guy? Okay, it does look like we're using a lot more of the Tier 1 proliferator. We are absolutely going to need to produce more of the Tier 1 proliferator. Fortunately, we could just build a bunch more assembling machines, Mark II, and, you know, upgrade these. That would be a safe start. But we could just expand our production considerably, which we should probably do. Where's my trashy... Okay, here it is.
Replication complete.
I still don't need all of that iron, but thank you, game. Okay.
Flight mode.
Alright, so the next thing is, what do we need to produce Corvettes? If we're gonna be doing this, we need a lot of stuff, actually. Including those purple energy conduits, whatever you want to call them. The particle containers. These guys, we should probably start producing somewhere. Graphene, electromagnetic turbines, and copper ingots. Do we have a place up by our electromagnetic turbines that can produce those? See if they're all the way up here.
Mineral depleted.
They're right here. So do we have any straight copper around? We do, right here. Okay. Alright. You didn't think that would work? What is it, a crab heart? It's okay. Yeah, so we do have copper here. We don't really have a lot of room for large-scale production operation, but we could maybe make it work. Maybe squeeze some smelters into here. That would get us the copper that we need. Then we just need to transport the graphene over. That could be more difficult.
Flight mode.
Where is our graphene production? Local demand, graphene. Graphene might be a problem. Graphene is almost certainly a problem. Sulfuric acid. It looks like we need to produce more sulfuric acid. Which, in order to do so, we need more fuel. Which, where's our fuel coming from? It's only coming out of this? I mean, I have so much fuel floating around somewhere. Because I'm not really using it. Where? Right here. I have so much fuel. So we really need to run this fuel over to the graphene production. Unless we can... No, we can't really put it in there. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of work to be done. There's definitely a lot of work to be done. Graphene is probably going to be one of our big bottlenecks right now, though, so that may be something we have to focus on a bit. We also have this this copper production over here, which we could probably use. We're probably not... Yeah, we're definitely not using all of this copper.
Flight mode.
Okay. Alright, so how does our proliferator look now? Let's take a look. Oh, we're making way more. Yeah. And we're consuming a lot more of the Mark I proliferator, which I expected. We can upgrade some of these. There we are.
Insufficient materials.
And we'll grab that last one, too. Okay. So, the next step is going to be to produce Tier 3 proliferator, which, in order to do that, I think we need the crystals, right? No, we need carbon nanotubes. Okay, well, we do have a lot of carbon nanotubes. It's the graphene that we're struggling with. So I guess the next task is going to be to solve that problem. We have all of this fuel. Not that fuel. The processed fuel. It is the processed fuel. It's right here. It's right underneath me. We have all this processed fuel here. And then I think, or at least I thought, we had a bunch of processed fuel over here, too. We do. We actually have way too much processed fuel. Yeah, we need to start feeding this processed fuel into something so we can get it over to where it needs to go. Which is all the way over here. That's gonna be a huge pain. Okay. Alright, let's set up another planetary logistics station. I feel like I'm doing that a lot lately, but planetary logistics stations are like the easiest thing to move large amounts of fluids around with. We need some more steel, which steel is here. Our steel supply... Our steel supply is another thing that we're just not going to talk about. We're just not going to talk about our lack of steel. Let's grab a bunch of steel from the conveyor over here. There we go.
Insufficient materials.
And then for this, I think we just need more graphene. Yeah.
Light load.
Okay. Yeah, this is an ugly, chaotic mess. And that's just the way that it's going to be. That's just who I am, Chief. There we go. Did that get me what I needed to build this? Yes. Okay. Actually, I have processors coming in. I could just grab some of these. That's always the thing that I struggle with the most, is once I actually get access to another resource, I always forget that I can just, like, run and grab it. Although, we do only have a handful here. Hello, how's it going, Tally? I'm hoping today, Tally, we're gonna pick fights with some baddies. Not quite sure how we're gonna pull that off yet, but we'll make it work maybe. Yeah, our processor production is really struggling, and I kind of knew that was going to happen. We only produce, like, let's see, 17 per minute, which is not very much. And it's all trickling into this line here to produce our purple tech. Our purple cubes. We really need to expand our production on, was it Svalison 1, I think? This guy. But this is gonna be some working. It's gonna be some working to make that work. Okay, so here's our task. I want you to collect refined oil. Demand it. I demand that you demand refined oil. And then all the way over here. All the way. We're going all the way. Probably right into this area. Let's see, we need to bring this oil over. Where is it? This oil over. This guy right here. And we need to bring this guy over. So we're just going to plop it like right in here somewhere.
Insufficient materials.
No, I can't actually highlight it until I have the building. Okay, so here's our basic game plan. I want to get rid of this Dark Rock Hive. This is the one that's been causing me so much trouble, and it's making me sad. So I want to be ready in case I get retaliated upon by the Space Dark Fog Hive. Which is why I'm trying to build like a space fleet. But I think we're going to move like a defensive line right up against this. And it's probably going to consist of missiles and cannons. And we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna kill the Dark Fog. It's gonna die. Once we get rid of this Dark Fog, I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable with our situation.
Replication complete.
I think slash hope. Okay. So I want you to be
Research complete.
Guess we'll push you.
You've unlocked Warship to fight against dark fog in space. Corvette is a small warship. It attacks with EM weapons and is very powerful at long range.
There's really not. There's really not a lot of room. Here, there, somewhere. I guess we could plop it like right here. This basically only really has one purpose anyway. Okay. Let's bring that refined oil in. I want to try to avoid the copper as much as possible because I'm going to need that copper. We've already had this conversation. I want to... no, actually, we have this copper over here that we can pull from, so I guess we don't need this copper, although we probably will later. Much later. I don't know. Let's just figure it out. Just figure it out and not worry about it too much. Again, the point of this game, for me, is not to get lost in the sauce. It's just to, you know, chill and have some fun. I can't do that. So, things don't have to be perfectly, like, efficient. In fact, they probably won't be. And that's okay. This is a gross mess of conveyors, though. I cannot deny that. What? Is that gonna work?
Flight mode. Flight mode.
Can we just go... Okay, game. Alright. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. Have transports here. Yeah, we did build 5 of them. There we go. Okay. Now we need to bring this over. And on one hand, this is going to be easier, but on the other hand, it's going to be a little bit harder. Because I think everything in this line is actually already taken. So I think what I'm going to do... Can't I... Maybe I can't pull from a higher thing. I thought that you could pull from like one of the higher tanks. Maybe not. Where's this fuel going? It's going...
Flight mode.
Oh, it's literally already over here. Oh. You all thought I had no plans. You all thought I was a madman. It's all going according to plan. Excellent. That was totally planned. 100%. Okay. So that should be going over to here. Okay. So now we have to connect this into here, which shouldn't actually be too difficult. It's gonna be a bunch of gross belts again, but that's okay. I've accepted my lot in life when it comes to gross belts. And if we put a splitter in here... Ooh. If we put a splitter in here... And then what? What are we going to do with this splitter? We're going to take it like that. And then like that. And then... like that. Yeah! Yeah, it makes... total sense. You know, in Paradox games, they have this thing called border gore, where the borders of a country look so horrible and awful that it like makes people sick to look at. I think Dyson Sphere Program has belt gore. Where somebody's horrible and awful belt setup just makes them internally sick. Whatever, it's fine. It works, it's functional, and I'm okay with that. Okay. So that should increase the amount of graphene I'm producing. Hopefully it's producing a lot. No. None of that. That's illegal. Okay. So all this fuel should be feeding into this. Let's see. So we have Corvettes now. We cannot afford destroyers, so I'm not even going to try. But now that we have purple tech, we can get cosmic exploration. It's going to be expensive. 1,000 purple cubes. That's a lot of processors that we don't have. But I need to know what's going on in the rest of the galaxy. I need to be able to make plans for future expansion. And I think that's going to be very important.
Flight mode.
Okay. So there's plenty of room here to expand our production of graphene. We just have to send it off in this direction. Which is very doable. Very, very doable.
Flight mode. Replication complete.
We also probably need to add... We probably need to add more logistics drones to some of our planetary stations. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just build like 10 more of those. Yeah, we're going to have to do something about our processor shortage. We're not making enough processors. And it's going to mean greatly expanding our production on the first planet in the solar system, which is going to mean we're going to have a lot more attacks, but processors are just too important to have this much of a bottleneck with them. They just is. They're too important. Okay. The good news is our proliferator is looking so much more healthy. I'm starting to see more and more proliferator around the entire base. So I may have actually solved that crisis. Yeah, it's actually starting to back up. Nice. That's extremely good. That does indeed mean that we can probably start looking at increasing our proliferators to the next level. That's the tier 3 proliferator. Delicious. Now, eventually, over the very long term, we're going to want to devote like a massive setup of proliferator on one planet to basically just ship proliferator across the galaxy. Wherever I need it, it needs to go. Are these done building yet? No, we're almost there. Okay, so how has that helped our graphene? Graphene production is way up. Way up. Let's go back an hour. Yeah, we were really struggling there with graphene for a while. Energetic graphite is looking a little bit sad again, but that's okay. We'll deal with that when the time comes. So yeah, what I want... obviously I want
dark fog is assaulting.
a bunch of these corvettes. I want a bunch of space fleets. I also want a bunch of attack drones. And on top of that, Svalison 1, they should be fine. I hope. Yeah, they'll be fine. I built a lot of cannons there. I would be upset if they weren't fine. There we go. So that'll pull in a lot more of that. Alright, so I think we're going to go back to Svalison 1. We're going to try to expand our production there a little bit. Again, we're going to be a little bit limited on what we can do. Just because I don't really want to make that a big chonking target. And also, our lack of steel is still a problem. Steel is not particularly difficult to produce. In fact, we could probably just produce a bunch of steel over here and plug it into the same system and it'll be fine. It's literally just smelting iron a second time. I'm just lazy. I'm just lazy. I just have other things that I want to do. Is that a good thing? Absolutely not. But it is what it is. So can I produce a bunch of attack drones? No. I think I'm short on... maybe short on graphene, actually, since I don't have those particle containers. We need to just come over here and hoover some of this graphene up. Go. What can that do for us?
Dark fog cluster is launching an assault.
Now we can produce 3. How many can we carry? 8. Okay.
Flight mode.
138 units. Yeah, this dark fog is it's pretty tough. I don't want to say it's pretty tough. It's literally just strength by numbers. They're not particularly powerful. They're not particularly dangerous. They just are. They don't even necessarily do a lot of damage to me either. Yeah, pretty weak. So weak. Go. Let's start building some of that. What are we missing? Is it stone? Is it actually a lack of stone? It's actually a lack of stone. Okay.
Flight mode.
Well, I could go grab some of that. I always forget that stone is a resource. Like, you just don't really use it a lot. And yeah, I should probably automate a bunch of, like, the stuff that stone is used to produce, because it's literally just stone.
Flight
But, like, I don't know, it's just easy to just come over here and grab not all of the stone. Just, like, grab a few stacks of stone and you're good to go for a while. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So let's head back to Svalison 1, shall we? How does our fuel look? Our fuel is more than fine. We need to improve that production. Bias is angled that way, okay. Let's go get it. Hopefully we don't fly straight through the dark fog cluster. It feels like Svalison 1 is always right next to the dark fog cluster. It's kind of irritating. That's part of the reason why I want to get rid of this dark fog cluster, is because it's so close.
Extraterrestrial dark fog is assaulting.
Okay, it looks like Svalison 1 is on this side, so that's good.
Cruise ended.
Okay, well, let's take a look at this dark fog attack, shall we? Yeah, it's not really that dangerous. Crisis averted. Little tiny nuggets of damage, but nothing significant. Okay. So what are we short on? We are short on... Actually, it looks like we're short on the smelters. Okay.
Replication complete.
Really? You're gonna do me dirty like that? Okay. This is fine. There we go. There's that. It actually looks like I need to be feeding more silicon into the system. Okay. We can definitely make that work. I want these
Insufficient
tier
materials.
3s. Thank you. So, yes, our bottleneck is definitely going to be the production. That's going to be our biggest bottleneck. Right now, though, we can improve this a little bit just by increasing how much silicon we're mining.
Insufficient materials.
It's really kind of obnoxious that we can't just automatically upgrade this to Mark. Oh yeah, I guess we can upgrade them straight to Mark 3. All right, I'm just bad.
Complete.
I just don't know how to read. Who would have thought? Okay. So we need to add more silicon, huh? That's actually easier said than done. There's not really a lot of silicon on this planet. We can literally just do this. It's just going to eat through our silicon faster, but at least the smelters will also run faster. There we go. I wish these were splitters. In fact, I could probably just build a few splitters, but it's fine. So that alone should increase our silicon production. And hopefully it'll produce it to more than what we need. It seems like it will. It's a little bit hard to tell. I might as well upgrade those since I'm here. We may need even more silicon. What do you mean lack of replacing item? Don't lie to me, game. Oh, it's trying to upgrade it 2 tiers instead of 1. There we go. Again, it's important to keep in mind that this was never really meant to be a massive operation. It's literally just meant to, like, get our feet off the ground as far as these processors go. And I think it's doing okay as far as that's concerned. I'd love to get this up to 30, though. I'd love to get it up to 30 per minute, at least. But I think in order to do that, I'm going to have to definitely expand how much silicon I'm using. And honestly, like, the easiest way to do that is just to add more smelters. Which I think we have the fuel or the power capacity to do that. Yeah, we're not really using a large percentage of our capacity. We're at 53% capacity here. Also, wind turbines are awful on this planet, but that's okay. And then we can just, like, add more smelters along like this. It's not exactly going to be pretty, but have I done anything pretty in this entire playthrough yet? I don't think so. I just realized I don't. Here. I don't think I gave that enough space to actually, like, deposit its resource.
Replication complete.
There we go. Huh. I didn't know you could, like, use a sorter to transfer resources directly between 2 things. I'm not quite sure what the use of that would be, but I'm sure there is one.
Mineral depleted.
You could use it to, like, transfer resources from one production line to another, perhaps. Something along those lines. Now, the big thing we're going to have to watch out for with this is, as we're using a lot more silicon, we're going to be burning through the silicon a lot faster, which could have its own problems. Again, I'm kind of limited in how much silicon I have in this system. If we look at our system map here, our star map, this is all of the resources we have in this star system. And as you can see, we only have a little bit more than 1 million silicon. Now, we can turn our stone into silicon, but that is a lot more arduous of a process than I really want to deal with. There we go. We can just add that in like that. Excellent. So that should very much increase our silicon production. Very much so. Yes. 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 Excellent. Which will indirectly increase our processors. Which we're getting, even just that, we're getting close to that 30 per minute mark that I was hoping for. And what was the other thing? Local planet. The microcrystalline process components. These are the things that I figured would be our biggest bottleneck. And it does look like I could go for a couple more buildings of those. Which we have the space to do so. Fortunately, I had the presence of mind of providing enough space for this. It's the luxury of having an entire planet at your control. Let's see, let me gobble off some of this silicon. Thank you. There we go. Actually, I guess we could have gobbled up the processors directly, yeah? Oh well, it's okay.